All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. So sorry for the delay and the confusion, because it is actually not going to be 2 Arc Iliad against ESV Wildfire. It will instead be the new lineup of evil geniuses. If you don't know about this, ZPs, formerly from Glorious, has now actually been practicing and scrimming at least in 3 tournaments now with evil geniuses. So ZPs hype in attendance. Hopefully there's some ZPs fans out there. But either way, they're up against Team Tempest, who we just saw absolutely crush their opponents. They're on top of Integrity Gaming. And we're going into the draft here of Cursed Hollow for this first best of 3. Kind of don't know how to call this one. I mean, Evil Geniuses has definitely been up and down, especially since BlizzCon. They've had some stabilization issues, I guess is the best way to put it here, with their roster. I mean, they've had a good rotating number of names through a lot of tournaments, actually, since November. But, you know, this latest edition with ZPs, I mean, Idra's back, Faye's here. I believe LZ Gamer is actually in attendance as well. So, you know, the solid core 3 now with ZPs. So, they did some absolutely terrifying work last week. We'll see if they can repeat that here again, because ESV Tempest, they got themselves that momentum. And they're going to be moving forward, looking to solidify themselves a win here for the first game of our best of 3. Let's check out some of the draft so far. Once again, we're all over it with the Stormcraft, and on the Cursed Hollow, I believe the first ban was actually the Way of Tempest, and that actually supports everything there, and they're going to be a Tassadar ban. So once more, we see ourselves a Tassadar ban going back and forth on this map. This was the map that did define the Stitches in terms of the high meta EU, or NA, well, probably EU too, but definitely on the NA side. And if you're not first pick, then you basically are going to be pigeonholed into banning out the Stitches unless you want to deal with it. And we are saying we do not want to deal with it here from Evil Geniuses, so they will deal with it not today. First pick, though, it's going to be an Arthas here coming forward for the ESV Tempest, and this is a 3rd time first pick Arthas, I believe. Now, definitely 2 in a row, if not 3, for ESV. And just a very solid frontliner. He's a great, just overall fantastic tank. It's almost sacrilege, I guess, if you go into a game on high meta NA and there's no Arthas there. I mean, the Stitches ban is expected these days. Tychus ban every now and then as well, but the Arthas is definitely a big staple here on the NA side of things. Flip side, Vala going to be the first pickup for Evil Geniuses. They really like that Vala, and a lot of teams actually put her as the highest the highest pick rate right now for our first picks on tops of our assassins. It's either going to be that or the Tychus, but Tychus is banned half the time. So a lot of people really just know how to use Vala these days. And they're going to follow that up with one of ZP's favorite characters. And this is very likely going to be a ZP's Kerrigan. So we're almost, I almost want to say we're going to see a triple assassin out of them with perhaps a roaming to go with the Kerrigan. But at the same time, they also break up the possibility of an Arthas Kerrigan roam, which is absolutely insane. We saw Tempest, though, with the Arthas Tyrande roam comp in game number 2 up against Integrity last round, and that was absolutely massive as well. Now, the flip side, we are going to go early into our support with the Brightwing. Good mobility, gets the bribe, can definitely soak a lane all the way to the last second, and then join the team fight elsewhere. And since Tychus kind of made it through the picks and bans, ESV is just like, all right, well, we'll pick him up on the back. Good backline assassin, the Odin with the extra health bar. You get Relentless and Stone Shield, and he, you really don't need to talent too much here for a Tychus to be effective. First Aid, Relentless, Stone Skin. I mean, 3 of your talent tiers, 3 of 7, are going to be defensive options for him. So having an assassin with that much survivability can definitely go a long way. Of course, it doesn't come with its own risks, but it definitely carries a very high reward. On the other side, Evil Geniuses are going to pick themselves up in the Zebo, so it's almost a triple assassin comp, but now with double assassin and the specialist, like all those, the 2.5 special, they have to kind of now figure out who their frontline and their support is going to be, and they're going to take a Tyrael to augment that frontline. So Tyrael and Nazebo likely to be laners, very likely as well with the Vala, but we might be putting 2 into the bottom with a roaming Kerrigan, see what they can do about that. It's not quite as powerful a punch as the double roam, but we'll have to see what this last pick is going to be. And Thrall is going to be joining us on stream today from Tempest. Okay. I haven't seen a lot of Thralls, but I haven't seen Thrall win. Hero League aside, I haven't seen him win actually in any of these tournaments, and it looks like they're going to round it all off with their own triple assassin comp. So they got themselves the Brightwing in the back there with the heals. I almost want to say this will be a blink heal scenario for Tempest, but we'll have to see how the everything kind of goes. And then the triple assassin in the back. It's a very fantastic kind of look here on the Cursed Hollow. And they're also going to now finish off with that material. So, yep. Good luck, have fun, teams. We're going to be jumping on in, just giving them my notice. And this will be it. First game, Evil Geniuses and ESV Tempest. Who's it going to be? Both teams sporting a lot of damage going back and forth. The Nazeebo in the back, who does he have to worry about? Oh, and this is why we have a Thrall pick. That makes absolute sense right there. The only thing that can actually hurt that Nazeebo from far away is going to be a Sundering coming out from the Thrall. Absolutely. We're going to have to keep an eye on that, look at how successful that's going to be. But we're loading in now, guys. Cursed Hollow. First game of this best of 3 into the quarterfinals of the January monthlies. Evil Geniuses and ESV Tempest. One of these guys are going to go home very happy. The other, maybe not so much. And we're finally loading in. All right, Evil Geniuses and Tempest. Tempest just came off of this map. They had a very good roam comp. They don't quite have that roam comp this round. If I have to think about it, it's probably going to be Brightwing in... it might be Brightwing actually in one lane. I'm curious to see if that will actually come to pass. Brightwing, Falstad, Arthas can all definitely hold down lanes. The Tychus can hold down lanes if they need to as well. And I'm not entirely too sure we're going to see a roam from either side. The Arthas is definitely set up nicely for a roam. So is the Kerrigan. But who's their partner's going to be? Is it going to be a party lane with a 1-1-3 or a 3-1-1? Will be roams. We'll have to find out. On the blue, however, a team with names you guys have seen multiple times here in this meta. ZPs, Faye, Kawhi Rice, LZ Gamer, and Idra going to be representing Evil Geniuses here on the blue. Flip side, Treble once more on the Brightwing. Panucci not on a Witch Doctor today. Toejam and Earl, Oop, and Nightmare going to be representing ESV Tempest. And once again, winner of this best of 3 gets into semis, and that means that they are going into the ESL Majors. A lot on the line for these teams here in this game. So, bam. We are going to have party lanes. It is actually going to be the Brightwing and the Falstad. And then, of course, the Tyrael and Vala are going to be holding down their respective lanes. It will be a 3-on-1, 3-on-1, at least initially. Treble, not entirely too sure he's going to fear too much, at least this early game. He is, of course, Brightwing, has a lot of passive healing available to him. Right now, the Kerrigan is not showing herself. ZP is saying, I'm not putting my cards on the table. He's going to go the long way around, perhaps looking for that gank on top of the Brightwing. So the Brightwing, this would be a good gank setup. They got the rake into the stun, into the zombie walls if they need it. At least a lot of poison damage coming out from Faye. ZBs is thinking about it, but Treble's like, nope, too slick for you. It's gonna actually just fake them all out. So we'll see. There's a little bit of talk about Hinterland's Blast versus the Mighty Gust. I really don't expect to see Mighty Gust, not in this comp. I mean, with the Sundering, I think they have more than enough to deal with the Ravenous, and the Hinterland Blast is too much damage to give up. And speaking of the damage, Panucci is going to take taking a little bit with the ZP's roam. So it is the single ZP's roam going back and forth, whereas we don't have a roam at all from ESV Tempest. They're just going to go back and forth as best they can in terms of their lanes. Oop is thinking of it, but so far, no dice. Either way, both sides are just going to be looking to keep their towers as healthy as possible. Of course, the Brightwing, not exactly the biggest wave clear, the big pusher here. But, doing an okay job. Either way, there goes the first tower, and absolutely no help has been sent into that top lane. Here comes ZPs as well. They might just be looking to push it down and be done with it. Bottom lane, they are, of course, focusing this bottom tower. We do have level 4. Do we have the melting point? Give me a melting point. It's a spray and pray, actually. No melting point here today. Treble is actually going to get stunned out right before ZPs can bring off that Kerrigan combo. Could have actually been a very interesting kill there because the gate was so very low on the hit points. And there it goes. It is now going to be out of dodge. Here's finally the combo. No, Treble actually goes forward after the back of that. And ZPs is not able, he's 0 for 3 now on these gank attempts. Treble is actually now taking a lot of heat into this top lane, but he's dealing with it fantastically, and it let the bottom gate, now both towers, go the way of ESV. Problem for ESV, though, is that this tribute is actually top. And they know it. Yeah, power throw is going to be big right here. Look at that. Oh, he missed! The power throw range miss. That is an absolute disaster right there for ESV Tempest. Panucci still now going to come in there with that lightning rod, but the right wing, he went home. He got himself the mana. He absolutely needed that to hit. Everybody's going back to their lanes. Definitely a bit of a misplay there from ESV Tempest, but it's only one tribute. They could still contest the next one. It won't spawn in the mid because of the new tribute rules, but it still could be the top as well. Could be top, could be bottom. If you just put your people mid, well, you're going to have a good chance of getting to either one very quickly. And ESV Tempest, I'm very curious to see if they're going to put three into the bottom again, because I don't see that happening. Take a quick look at some of these talents, though, while we got time. The Vala, not a multi-build today. Rancor, Manticore, Searing Attacks. This is all the makings of a single target DPS shredding build coming out from her. And I'm a little curious as to why. There's only the Arthas, the big beef guy from ESV Tempest. He's the only big target, but maybe they want to get him down as quick as they can. Less emphasis on the AoE, more emphasis on the kills, and the kills could actually be happening fast and furious. We did have that good Howling Blast in, did catch all three members of EG, but the Kerrigan coming back in. They finally do take down that Arthas. Faye in the top. Panucci is actually going to trade off. Perhaps he is getting really, really low, but here comes EPs as well, jumping right back into the fray. LZ Gamer doing some fantastic body blocking scenarios as well, and Panucci was so close to being a team wipe there, and all they got for it was that Nazebo. The split and this condensation right here, like condensing everyone into these small areas, the big AoEs with the smites, the big AoEs with the Kerrigan combo, the big AoEs with the Vala multi-shots. I mean, yeah, that did not do ESV any type of favors. It looked like they had the bigger advantage because they engaged on the back of a Howling Blast that landed on 3 team members, but they didn't have the crowd control, and the Kerrigan jumping in like that, set everything up extremely well. So well played right there for Evil Geniuses. They're up 2 tributes now, and level 10 advantage is going to be their reward for their superior early game here. 5.5 minutes in. It's going to be the Rain of Vengeance. So we're looking for counter stuns. The Judgment, Divine Storm, that's quite actually a lot of CC between those 3 for the ultimates. And well, here comes Treble. He does not have an Emerald Wind, and he is now in trouble as he is now dropping, and this 3rd tribute now spawning. And again, like, trouble's kind of the big word right here. We got ToeJam and Uro. He's thinking, yeah, I could go up, but nope, he's not gonna. In fact, all we have really is a power throw here. Nightmare can't do anything. The power throw with the hammering actually does come out, so he did not miss it that round. Very clutch coming out from Panucci, but I mean, that's basically all the tricks we have up the ESV Tempest sleeves, and now they are going to have to suffer through this curse. Not the good early game that we are seeing from the previous matches with the ESV Tempest, but coming into this, Evil Geniuses, they seem to know what's up. They know what they're doing. There's that Sundering coming out from the Thrall, and here comes now the combo. 1 and 2 and 3. The Earthquake actually did come out there from Nightmare. No, wait, no. Nightmare. Yeah, no, it totally did. It, for whatever reason, it doesn't record up there. So the Earthquake did come out, tried to save out Panucci, but instead it will just lead us into a triple kill. Faye with that Ravenous at the end of it, cancels it early, decides doesn't need it, and level 12, level 13 is about to come in. We do got ults here, but that Odin is not going to be coming out from the Tychus as he drops to the big CC comp. This is a fantastic curse for Evil Geniuses. They got themselves the kills. They're up a talent tier. Panucci's up and he's down. And that's going to be the Divine Storm, the last of the ults to be used out from Evil Geniuses, but they got themselves a fort. They got themselves the keep. They're up 10 kills to 1. It's almost the reverse of what we were just watching, ESV Tempest up against the Integrity. And now with that level 13 hype, the kills, the pressure, they're going for a boss. You know they're going for a boss. And Giant Killer to be added here to the Vala build on, I believe, Idra. Yeah. So he is definitely shredding down. They want to remove that Arthas as quick as they can. They got the Purge Evil. They got the Angelic Absorption. That's actually something we don't see a lot here from Arterials, but there it is. It's not an amplified healing whatsoever. It says he doesn't need it. But the Battle Momentum into the Cast Assign, it's another great CC option. We do got the Sprint for our Uther after the Cleanse. So the Cleanse coming out big here for the Nazeebo as well. If you time it out for the Cleanse, it will make you invulnerable to the stuns, which means if you see a Sundering coming, you cleanse out the Nazeebo, and he's just going to continue ravenous right through your opposing team line. The Ultralisk coming out from ZP, so he's not going for the jump-in Maelstrom. He's definitely going for a little bit more pressure. The Ultralisk will chase you down just like Banshees and just like Gargantuans, well, to a less effective degree. So, it's an interesting comp, but, it is doing work. Brightwing gets caught. He gets CC'd to death. We got this big boss now pushing forward. Okay, why Rice is going to just heal himself up. Here comes that. The big shield on everyone as well from LZ Gamers. Like, there's a lot of survivability with this comp. The synergies are outstanding. And on the flip side, I mean, this Thrall pick so far has been less than impressive. Panucci has been caught time and time again because they got that Kerrigan pick early here from Evil Geniuses. The Falstead being picked to do a Kerrigan, almost 100% the Kerrigan will win in if she gets off that engage. I mean, the CC comp is just too good. And again, we will have those Ultralisks to chase people down. We did have a bit of a party bush going in, but instead it's going to be, wow, no! Oh, no, Nightmare with that Earthquake on the back allows us now a big Ravenous, but more importantly, the Hinterlands blast targets were all pushed out of this laser. And no damage, virtually done to this opposing team on Evil Geniuses. They get the key, 3 more kills under their belt. They blew up Treble. It doesn't matter that he has Emerald Wind. You can't do anything when you're stunned, and we have no cleanse to deal with this CC comp. We have 2 Relentlesses, but it's not the targets that need them at this point. It's just going to be collapsed on a bit there by Oop, might even drop, but it doesn't matter. GG. Evil Geniuses with a decisive strike at the end of it there, and a little bit of a muck up there from the ESV Tempest. They are going to take game number 1 of this best of 3. Absolutely well deserved. Evil Geniuses, basically, they had that game's number from the get-go. The Roman Kerrigan getting the kills. Well, actually, that's a lie. 0 for 3 in the beginning. ZPs didn't really make magic happen there at all, like in that early game. But they were able to get the first tribute. A big misplay. That was misplay number 1 from ESV Tempest. The power throw didn't reach the Uther. So they gave up the first tribute for free. They all collapsed mid, looking for a team fight at the second tribute, got funneled into a small area. The rakes, the multicasts, the poisons, the cast-asides, the smites, didn't have cast-aside by then, led us into almost a team wipe from ESV Tempest, and that was a 4-for-1 trade. They get themselves that second tribute. On the back of all that, the third tribute now comes around because, again, they could not stop it, and we had too many ults at that point, and Evil Geniuses just, they took home the kill. Less than 10 minutes. That game was 9 minutes and 55 seconds. It was impressive, to say the least. So we're going to set up here for game number 2 as we go into this, because Evil Geniuses is one step closer to joining teams like the newly bought out Tempo Storm, formerly Symbiote Gaming, Barrel Boys, Murlocs Inc., and Cloud9 of Vortex. They're already waiting in the ESL Majors. Will Evil Geniuses join them? We're about to find out, because game number 2 is going to be coming at you guys in just a minute.